Hey guys, it's Emily and welcome to a new reading vlog. So as yesterday was the first day of spring and according to the forecast we should be getting our very first spring weather this week, I thought I would film a reading vlog in which I read some spring books. So in this vlog we're going to be reading books off of my spring reading list as well as some books that I feel are just perfect for this spring. So right now it's actually Sunday and it's about 3 p.m. I'm about to go on a walk with my mom because we have this beautiful weather and we just want to make the best out of it. So let's go. So I am back from my walk. It was such a lovely walk. The weather was absolutely amazing. I didn't even need to wear a jacket and we walked for so long. It was kind of muddy still outside, like we're still very early on in the spring and we're only starting to get the nice weather. So obviously there was still some snow on the ground, but everything was melting, so it felt very muddy and kind of gross. But even though like nature is kind of still dead, it was just nice to be outside in the sun and like soaking in some vitamin D. So it was amazing. I really enjoyed my time outside. But now I thought I would get some reading done. I think I am going to go with Persuasion by Jane Austen. I know this is not the Jane Austen book that is on my spring reading list, but I'm still in the middle of it. I am currently on page 61. So I'm making my way through it. I started it at the beginning of the month and I would love to be able to finish it. And this cover is kind of springish, right? And I'm quite enjoying it so far, but since this is so short, I think it would be a great time to finish it. So I have finished reading Persuasion by Jane Austen and I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So I enjoyed it, but it's not my favorite Jane Austen book. I feel like it kind of lost me in the middle. I was really invested when I first started the story. I thought there was a lot of tension between our two main protagonists, but then it kind of lost me, like I said, in the middle. I feel like it talked about things that didn't really matter, at least not to me. And it also might be because I took a while to read this book. I started it at the end of February and we're now at the end of the month of March. So obviously that may have hindered my enjoyment of the book, but I feel like there was something missing from this. Even the ending didn't fully satisfy me. I feel like because we didn't really get to know the love interest, I never really got invested in their love story. I think because they were separated a lot of the time and they just didn't want to talk to one another because of what had happened in the past, it made it difficult for me to connect with the love interest, and so I never really felt for him the way that I could have and would have, because I know Jane Austen and I know she's able to write very amazing characters. So yeah, it's not my favorite. I did enjoy it, but it's just not my favorite Jane Austen that I've read so far. So I think my next read is going to be a contemporary romance, and I have picked Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron. So I know this title is not on my spring reading list, but as I've mentioned before, I don't own most of the titles on my spring reading list, at least not yet. And the ones that I do own, I have a video concept for them, so I will be filming separate videos for them. But I thought it would be a great idea to pick a new release, and Accidentally Engaged is one of that. It came out on March 2nd, so it came out very recently. I had an arc of this, but I didn't read it on time, so I'm very happy to now have a physical copy. I don't know too much about the plot. I think it follows a girl who gets set up by her parents on a date or something like that, and basically they want her to marry this dude on the cover, but the main character doesn't want her parents' approval. Like, she wants to be able to choose her own partner. But when there's like a baking competition where it's a couples competition, I think, that happens, she sees an opportunity and basically she pretends to be engaged to this dude so that she can participate in the competition. So I'm excited. Baking is something that I love to see in books. I don't know why, but I really enjoy that. And I love me a good fake dating romance. So I'm excited to see what this one is all about. And I think both of the main characters in this book are Muslim. So I'm excited to read this. I think the cover is very springish. I mean, the green, the pink, the yellow. I don't know. It sounds perfect for this time of year. And I don't know why, but I love reading contemporary romances during the spring. I read them all year round. Don't get me wrong. I love me a good romance, but I feel more inclined to pick them up during the spring and summer. So this is going to be perfect. So time for a reading update. So basically I have not been able to make as much progress into Accidentally Engaged as I wanted to. Long story short, work has been really busy for me lately. Basically I'm one person manning a whole department, and it's been a lot more time consuming than I was expecting it to. It's been a lot more busy lately and I'm just not able to pull through. It's like I'm never able to catch up with the work that I have to do and everything. But anyway, help is on the way, hopefully. So far I'm only on page 84 of this book, and quite frankly I'm not vibing with it. There's something wrong with me and this book. It's just not connecting. I have a feeling it's the writing, but I can't really put my finger on why, because so far I can't really see a flaw, but something is wrong and I don't really know what it is. And like I said, I have a feeling it's the writing, but I wouldn't be able to say what it is about it. That really rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, so far not loving this. I do like the characters and I feel like they have great chemistry, and I'm looking forward to seeing where things will go, but there's something wrong and it really bugs me not knowing what it is. One thing though, it's set in Canada, which I was not expecting, and that's nice because I don't read a lot of books that are set in Canada for some reason, so I thought this was like a nice addition and a really nice surprise. Also, the food descriptions in here make me so hungry. You won't want to read this without having a snack like ready nearby, because this makes me so hungry all the time. A lot of mentions of food, as you can imagine, with this type of book. I'll be honest, the main character sometimes kind of rubs me the wrong way. I feel like she's been a little bit pretentious. Like she was talking about people like not eating meat and stuff, and she was like, fake meat, ew, what is that? But at the same time, like if you're vegan, fake meat is like a good thing, I guess. But yeah, so far not loving it. I don't hate it either, by the way. Like I make it sound like it's a lot worse than it is. Like it would be a 3 out of 5 stars so far. I'm kind of feeling like the DNF, to be honest, but I haven't even entered the competition aspect of it yet. Like they've just entered the competition and they were told that they made it in. So I kind of want to see the competition aspect a little bit more before I make my decision as to whether or not I want to pursue this book, like if I want to continue reading it. But yeah, so far it's so unfortunate because I really wanted to love this. Like I really thought I would enjoy this, but we're not vibing, unfortunately. So I have finished reading Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron, and this book is a hot mess. There are plot holes, inconsistencies, and things that just don't make sense. For example, the male protagonist, like the love interest, has a foot fetish. Like seriously, why? Why did it have to be included? Like it doesn't bring anything to the story. It's just like an inside joke between the main couple. Like I don't know. It's just, there's a bunch of things in this book that just didn't compute to me. Like I didn't understand why they were there or like their relevance. But I'll be honest, like towards the middle of the book, I got more interested and it became more fun. I feel like the author had so many great ideas to make this like an interesting story. Like honestly, you were never bored because there's always something happening, but the execution was lacking. I felt like she could have developed the ideas that she brought more, and some parts of the book felt rushed because of that. I feel like there was room for development and she didn't go there. She just kept it on the surface level, and unfortunately that means that I didn't enjoy this as much as I could have. Also, I think I figured out what with the writing was bothering me. This book is written in third person narrative. However, I feel like it would have benefited from being told from the first person point of view. I personally prefer books that are in first person, but this one is it's as if it was told from a first person, but instead it was told as a third person. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the main character would talk about her feelings and everything, but it would be told in third person. One thing that the author did really well though is the food descriptions. This made me so hungry and I wanted to eat everything that was mentioned in the book. So make sure to have snacks on hand if you're going to be reading this, because honestly that part was really well done and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Like even the whole food competition, it was a little bit silly at times, but I feel like the recipes and everything that was mentioned in terms of food was just chef's kiss. Like, honestly, I wanted to try everything, and that was really something that I enjoyed. So overall, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 stars. I think I was right off the bat. This is not more than a 3 for me. I even hesitated, like, do I give it a 2 or a 3? But I did enjoy this. Like, even though it was a hot mess and like there's a lot of things that were not done right, I did have fun reading this, especially towards the middle. So I am going to give this a 3. I wouldn't say I would recommend it, but I wouldn't discourage you from picking this up either. Just be aware that there's a bunch of things that quite frankly don't really make sense. So if you're looking for a really strong story, this is probably not the one, but if you're looking for something fun and lighthearted, this one would fit the bill. So I have received a package, and I believe those are books from my spring reading list. So let's open this. Oh wow. I love this cover. Okay, so I have 2 books. One of them is from my spring reading list, and the other one is just a book that I was interested in. So the first book that I have is Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. So as I have mentioned, this is part of my spring reading list, but basically I was watching Never Have I Ever on Friday. I binged the entire season. After watching that, I was really in the mood for an academic rivals to lovers story. I'm not going to spoil the show, but I was really into this relationship that happened in the show, and I wanted to read an academic rivals to lovers story. So I ordered a couple of enemies to lovers and a couple of academic rivals to lovers books, and part of my order is here today. So I have this one, which I'm so excited about. It's about 2 seniors who, on their very last day of high school, they go on this scavenger hunt together. They're academic rivals, and I believe that, as the trope suggests, they are going to fall in love. So I'm super excited for that. And then I also ordered Recommended for You by Laura Silverman. I don't know too much about the plot of this one, but I believe it follows 2 teenagers who are working in a bookstore, and I believe they're fighting for like the holiday bonus is what I just saw. So basically there's a promotion, and both of them are going to be going after it, which I thought was very interesting. This one is not part of my spring reading list, but I'm still very much interested to read it, and this one is. So 2 new YA contemporaries. I have a little bit of time before I need to go to the gym, so I thought I would get some reading done, but in order to do that, I need to pick my next read. Now, I'm hesitating between 2 titles. Initially, I was going to read 10 Truths and a Dare by Ashley Elston. It's part of my spring reading list. I have an arc of this, and recently I found a way to finally be able to read my arcs on my very old iPad, and so I thought I would be reading that. But now, I have received Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon, so I'm thinking maybe I want to read that one instead. Both of them have similar themes. They're both about high school seniors, but I just don't know which one I want to read the most. Like, I'm really into the whole academic rivals to lovers trope right now, and I think that's kind of the one that I'm more inclined to read, but maybe the other one would be quicker. So what we're going to do is I'm going to check Goodreads. I'm going to check like the number of pages of each book. I'm going to check their synopsis, and I'll try to decide which book I want to read the most. It's such a hard decision. Like, both of these books sound amazing. So Scavenger Hunt, academic rivals to lovers, kind of a 24-hour type of setting, a race all over Seattle. This sounds amazing. But then you have 10 Truths and a Dare, which, from what I understand, features the characters from 10 Blind Dates, and I'm like, it's a crossover. It's set in the same universe. I am so excited. I loved 10 Blind Dates. It's one of my favorite books, and so I kind of really want to read 10 Truths and a Dare because, I don't know, it sounds perfect. It's also shorter, which kind of has that going on. So I think I'm going to go with 10 Truths and a Dare simply because it's shorter. I think I could finish it quicker. So we're going to go with that one. So I have finished reading 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston, and I feel like I didn't really update you as I was reading, but what can I say? It's been crazy busy for me at work, and also like this was such a quick read. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Personally, I did enjoy 10 Blind Dates more. I just thought the story was more fun and like I connected with the main character more, but this one was just as fun. The concept is a little bit sketchy, I'll be honest. I don't even know if I told you guys what this book is about, but basically we're following our main character Olivia, and Olivia's mom is gone away for the week or something, and she has installed this app on her phone so that she can track Olivia's every move. We're following Olivia on grad week. Basically in her town they organize like a lot of parties, like parent organized parties to celebrate grad week, I guess. Olivia has to like miss all of the parties because of a tournament. Basically she was supposed to complete this PE class which would give her like credit, but there was a problem with the form and everything, so she has to like make up for it, and she has to help out in this golf tournament, and she doesn't want her mom to know because of that credit that's missing, she might not graduate on time. Honestly, it felt a little bit like Olivia's mom was very overbearing at times. Like she would ask her things that I'm like, what? And she would tell her like, oh, wear this, oh, don't forget to do that, and she was so overwhelming, like honestly kind of creepy, like to the point where she was tracking her every move and stuff, and I'm like, if my mom did that I would be so pissed. But it was a very fun story. Ashley Elston knows how to make a story very engaging. I did not connect with Olivia as much as I did with Sophie, but I did have fun reading from her perspective, and overall it was just a fun story. There's no other way to describe it. Like honestly, it was a great time. I really enjoyed my reading experience, and if you're looking for a fun new YA contemporary to check out this year, would totally recommend it. It's perfect for this season as well, like for spring. It's set during the month of May and it really felt like it was the beginning of summer. So I think I'm going to wrap up this vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys would like to see a part 2 of this, like where I read more books off of my spring reading list, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know also what you're reading this spring, and I guess that's it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!